And I would encourage you, if you are a fiction author, to start. Okay, fiction authors. So I know that a lot of things on YouTube are kind of based around nonfiction, and that marketing, maybe in the last video was talking about nonfiction authors. So I want to talk today about fiction authors and some things that I've just noticed, because I love how, greats always say they grab things from different genres to add to their mix to become great. Like Kobe studied the guy that played the Joker, I forget his name right now, but anyways, he studied acting, and Jerry Rice studied dance and ballet and stuff like that. And so that people study different things and pull from them to make their own thing great. So I'm going to encourage you, nonfiction actors, fiction authors, gotta get out of the acting and music performance mindset and into the author mindset. So I want to encourage you, my fiction author friend, because someone wrote, kind of, that this apply to fiction authors. I want to show you something that I think applies to fiction authors. However, before I do that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get this channel to 1,000, and your little like and subscribe can make a huge difference. All right, so here's what I've noticed. Some of the largest characters that we've ever known started off in small little doses of introduction. For instance, Superman, fiction, correct? One of the largest, I think DC Comics is worth 10 billion now or something like that. And they started with small short stories, introducing them to the public over and over and over again. Same thing with, I think, there's DC, and then there's, what's the other comic book thing? I know comic guys out there are just like going crazy, but Marvel, there you go. DC and Marvel. I think Marvel's worth 4 billion. Same idea. Small, bite-sized stories with cliffhangers, no less, some oftentimes, that led you to the next comic book. Introduction of new characters, but it familiarized the reader with the characters. And so in a world of, short TikTok clips, short YouTube shorts, content taking over everywhere, I believe that this model, one, is already proven, and two, you should add that model to your rollout if you want to build a large author readership base that resonates with your fiction book. Now, are there people that, come out and create novels and have it take off from there? Absolutely. Absolutely there are. But I can tell you this, they've understood, paid advertising, and they've also understood their niche and the people that are there to read that target material, which is also something we're going to do anyway. But here's what I'm saying to you is this is a long game. And I would encourage you, if you are a fiction author, to start introducing the world to your character. No ask, just like, here's a short story about super person, whatever it is. If you're writing romance, short little romance. There's a section on Amazon for short reads. Start rolling out short little things and start telling people about this character through short stories, is what I would say. Familiarize them with them. Have them come to your lead sheet where you can kind of give them some extra details behind the characters that they don't normally get in the books or in the short stories. Have them come to find the answer if you're writing mystery or I remember I used to love Encyclopedia Browns, man. Those things for me when I was a kid were awesome. I loved reading it, trying to figure it out. I would not flip to the last page because I was like, I want to see if I can figure it out myself. You could create something like that in your mystery world again, because these models already work. Comic books already work. We already know they work. 10 billion, 4 billion, still going. Many of them, the first creators are gone from this planet existence, and those things are still going. So and also for those of you who are kind of like, poo-poo on the short story, I want to give you guys a story that I just learned, because I'm always watching courses, that I think is going to help you. Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol is said to be somewhere around 100 pages, give or take, which is maybe around 20 something. There's no word count unless you do know it, and you can leave it in the comments below. Maybe 20 to 30,000 words, maybe. Went on to become one of the most iconic. There's so many stories I'm going to tell you about that in the future, but right now we're working on marketing. One of the most iconic books ever was basically a short story. So can your short stories take off? Absolutely. But I would say is like what you want to do if you're really looking at, like, I want to create books that are going to take off and not be one of the ones that kind of release a book and no one reads it, is to start introducing the world to your character. For instance, right now there's a thing called Squid Game here in the United States. I don't know if you're watching that. That thing had like a 2-something year rollout. I think we talked about that before. These daily blogs, I don't know, they're going to start running together. I might start saying some things I've said before, but 2-year rollout for the new product. Now, I will say one thing that they kind of forgot was in the new one, and this is not it's kind of a spoiler, but I don't know. You're going to see it anyways. It's not like taking anything away from like wherever the story goes. So if you don't watch spoilers, then just maybe skip this part. But if any kind of anything. But what I would say is the one thing they forgot was that we were there for a specific story, and they took a long time to get back to that specific story, which leads to strong openings, which we might discuss either in the next video or really after that. But first I wanted to address marketing. So if you're a fiction author, you're like, how do I do this? How do I build a strong author brand in today? I would say to you, short stories, short podcasts, short blogs, short little videos where maybe you have someone read the story, whatever, and post short form content in the world of books, like DC Comics did with Superman, and like Marvel does with all its characters, and fall in love with the long process of introducing short little snippets of your character. Now, also with that, you're going to need to find a way to reach them, which usually means you're running some kind of, ad to this short story, but you're building familiarity with the world and with your brand. And the reason why I say that is because I'm also working with my son to kind of help grow his streamer world. And something I've noticed that maybe you'll start to notice as well too. A lot of people, apparently this is a thing in streamer world, with the short form content also, there it goes again. They will repurpose their content on multiple either made up channels by them or made up channels by someone else. Like you'll see Kai Cenat on Kai Cenat Live, and then you'll see Kai Cenat on Kai Cenat Shorts, and then Kai Goes to Hollywood, and then KX10079 will post, and then Gamers Unite will post. Like all these very interesting little no-name content sites will repost this content all over the place. And what are they doing in those instances? They're familiarizing the world with their brand. Now, whether or not they have, actually, I think they do, because I remember, and I'll show you play this clip here. Ryan from Ryan's Toy Review said they had take a listen.
When we saw that all these people flew from afar to just come see us, I think that was the big moment, right? That we realized, there's actually people watching us,
I mean, those numbers are crazy. You guys have over 10 different YouTube channels, over 80 billion views across them. You have a mobile game with 34 million downloads. I want to break down Ryan's world.
So even they have 10 channels that they're pushing out there just themselves, not including the ones that are going to take it and repurpose the content. So all that to say is you could create your own 4 to 5 blog channels or podcast short form reading of your channels, and start to introduce the world to your character through kind of just market saturation. So that's something else for you to think about. And that's something that I'm going to think about doing as well. Market saturation. Take all the ads and things that are running out there and see, okay, how do we get on this platform? How do we, kind of saturate the market with this character, this story, this idea that I'm putting out there? something to think about. Looks like it's working for everyone else. So I can tell you one thing. It's something that I'm going to do, and I'll let you know how it goes, because I'm writing fiction. I want to write a fiction book. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I don't want to have you be a part of the process of, not that, a part of the process of like, go buy my book. I want the world to tell me that they like the book. I don't want, this is going to be totally you and I being educational and talking to each other about the book writing process. This is not going to lead into go buy my book, because then it's like, what are we doing? Then we're, creating friends or family who have no interest probably in what I'm creating, going to buy my book. And that's not what I think you should do. I think you should build a market and have the market decide whether or not your content is good. And if not, then you can adjust and learn the market, which is why we come all the way back around full circle to short stories, where you can introduce your characters to the market en masse to make sure that, you're figuring this out like they did with DC, like they did with Marvel, like they do all the time, and like Charles Dickens did with his wonderful short story, and like you can do too. So if you haven't clicked like and subscribe yet, we're going to be here every day. So every day I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. We'd like to go to 1,000. And if you're getting any value from this, or it's like just tinkling your little Ivory's brain, then I hope that you will do that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. But right now, I need to go write, because YouTube videos are fun to make, but I want to write and become a full-time writer. So I need to go back to writing, and so do you. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Bye.